Obama uses President's Day to take credit for Trump economy, draws fierce backlash. Hello and welcome to TST. If you are new to the channel, tap on the subscription button and press the notification bell so you can receive news and updates that you can rely on daily. This might work if the country had been in a coma. Former President Barack Obama celebrated President's Day on Monday with a Twitter post that just about perfectly captured the obscenely high opinion of himself the 44th president has always shown. But his attempt to claim credit for the booming economy during President Donald Trump's 3 years in office sparked a social media backlash that showed many Americans were all too awake during the abysmal 8 years of Obama in the Oval Office. Obama kicked off festivities with a typically vainglorious post, essentially bragging that it was his actions as president that have led to the current boom the country is enjoying. 11 years ago today, near the bottom of the worst recession in generations, I signed the Recovery Act, paving the way for more than a decade of economic growth and the longest streak of job creation in American history, he said. It's hard to take it seriously, but it does bring back a certain nostalgia. Does anyone remember when companies like Solyndra were supposed to lead the way for a new, greener American economy? It might have made a good photo op when the then president toured the solar panel manufacturer in May 2010, but $500 million in taxpayer-backed loan guarantees didn't look like such a good investment when the company went belly up a little more than a year later. Newsmax has a useful breakdown of the scandal. How about when Obama and then Vice President Joe Biden declared that the summer of 2010 would be known as Recovery Summer, to the misguided disbelief that economic recovery depended on government largesse, and a ludicrously poorly thought out nearly $1 trillion stimulus plan that didn't stimulate much. The fact that in the years that followed, the economy continued its malaise never shook the insistence of the Democrats and the mainstream media that Obama's policies were working. Some of the adoring responses to Obama's hogwash on Twitter Monday prove that. The Democrats' ability to delude themselves is a wonder to behold. But a whole lot of social media users haven't forgotten the Obama years, and some of the backlashes were brutal. Actually, you criticized Trump for campaigning on fixing your dead economy. He won and has seen record economic growth as president. Your gig economy and gig in the White House has left no legacy, barely even a memory. Take a watch.
A few of the projects we're looking at, again, these are the ones that we are investigating. And the plant fossil one I'm telling you about, I mean, this $787 billion, everybody's wondering, where are the jobs we were promised? Where is this money going? So that's what we're doing. We're investigating where this money is. Now, in particular, Argentina plant fossils. What does that have to do with the stimulus bill? Let's go over to Pennsylvania, in particular, Penn State. They are getting over $1 million to send their researchers down to Argentina to look into plant fossils. Now, what does it have to do with creating jobs? I have no idea, but that's the point. We are looking into it. We have calls out to them. We're going to hear back. We're going to let them respond. Not to say this isn't good science, but is that what this stimulus money is meant for? Another project we're checking out, we can take you over to Chicago. We're talking about plant fossils now in Chicago, University of Chicago. They're talking about shark fossils. We are checking into that as well. They are getting money to research that. Now, I can give you a little more detail about this one because, like I said, over here at the stimulus desk, Kira, we are making some calls. You just hang tight right
Glass
there.
of Malbec, maybe?
No.
Argentina,
we're not there
Tango?
yet. No, you're not thinking about the right Argentina here, Kira. I'm hanging out here with Jesse. Jesse is the one who's looked into these two fossil projects, if you will. Gotten a call back from the University of Chicago, at least. We're all wondering, this money going toward this research, how many jobs does that create? You got to call back. What is the answer?
Exactly. We reached out actually to media contacts at Penn State University and the University of Chicago. And what they said at the University of Chicago is the Shark Research Project. They're not exactly sure how many jobs it's going to create right now, but they're going to look into that and get back with us. He did send me a summary or a statement that says the project will deliver training and employment opportunities for young scientists at various levels. So
It's fairly generic.
that's the impact for now, and we'll get back with you when we know how many jobs.
Well, we're trying to get some more
created.
specifics. Jesse, thank you so much. But again, Kira, there you go. And the number...
In the Trump economy, unemployment of minorities is at or near historic lows. The groups that Democrats claim to care about are doing remarkably well under an administration that's supposed to be racist. Obama, why didn't black income go up during your presidency? President Trump has raised black income by $5,148 since 2018 after the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act passed. President Trump not only got it done, but got opportunity zones and $10,000 tax cut for K through 12 students too. What happened? Americans of a certain age, say 22, should be able to remember when Obama's regulations were deliberately strangling the world's most powerful economy. Meanwhile, the man in the White House was giving Americans hopeful messages like the jobs aren't coming back. Take a watch.
Because some of those jobs of the past are just not going to come back. And when somebody says he's going to bring all these jobs back, well, how exactly are you going to do that? What are you going to do? What magic wand do you have?
We've created more than 400,000. That's very soon going to be 600,000 manufacturing jobs.
Growth during the Trump years has been much more robust. This year we should get up near 3%. That would put us about 50% above Mr. Obama's performance.
The economic boom continues. It's the big story of 2018. Jobs, growth, wages. Doesn't get much better, Nat.
More than 4 million jobs created since the election. Wages are growing at the fastest pace in nearly a decade. More Americans are now employed than ever before in the recorded history of our country. The list goes on and on.
New policies are working. All right? It may be the greatest story never told.
Obama, of course, can express any opinion of his own performance he chooses. It's still a free country after all. No matter how hard Obama and his hideous collaborators Nancy Pelosi in the House and Harry Reid in the Senate try to change that. Liberals can play games with statistics as much as they want, but the proof is in the election pudding. Americans who voted for Trump in 2016 knew exactly what was happening to their country and knew that a Hillary Clinton presidency would only continue the downward spiral. And let's skip the popular vote nonsense. Getting 3 million brain-fogged liberals to vote for a Democrat in New York and California isn't exactly a mandate for responsible government. Just the opposite, actually. Since Trump has been in office, the stock markets are setting records, unemployment is down, and the United States is respected abroad. Americans are optimistic again too. Obama should have had a rough time claiming credit for that. 3 years out of office. How about this one from an erstwhile Obama supporter? This might work on voters who are still in grade school back then or something. There's at least a decent shot some will fall for this. The rest of us? No. And I voted for you both times. The second time was mostly because Romney was awful and you'd at least handled OBL. Those who are young enough to remember the Obama years as coinciding with the onset of puberty might be fooled by the former president's confidence, the media's non-stop adoration, and the constant stream of lies from the Democratic Party. But Americans who are more awake than woke know otherwise. Trump woke up the American economy in a way a statist like Obama and his followers could never dream of. And unfortunately for Obama, the country is not entirely in a coma. Let me know your thoughts and reactions in the comments down below. And haven't you checked out the official TST store yet? It has a variety of Patriot-themed custom t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, phone cases, and tons more. Make sure to take a look and maybe help us out picking some products for yourself and your loved ones at great prices. It does make a huge difference to what we're doing here. Link in the description below. If you've loved this report, let us know by tapping that like button down below. Share the news among friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news and updates on TST. I'm David Ravine, and I'll see you in the next one.